I don't know. I think so. Is it the M1 U1 plus? She's on YouTube channel. I have so many videos. I just yeah.
Okay, so let's put elastic. Is energy conserved in elastic condition? In frictionless environment? Yes. What about an inelastic condition? Not in an inelastic condition. You get loss of energy in what form? In a normal condition. A relaxed condition.
Sound.
Sound and heat and someone died, but I don't see it. You can see it died. Mainly sound. So we're going to say F1, power, part A. We need to find out V speed of 4, don't we? This is after. What do we know? We know that the mass 200. And moving at 30 meters per second.
What's MV? MV? M is mass. V. Oh, you mean the E thing? Or MV? MV mass times velocity.
Velocity of right?
10.
Now I know it seems Anderson provided out like this and then rearranged, but in physics you could get more mass. Get the wrong answer. You show which variables which. So they recommend you rearrange after substituting the numbers. Now we're up to EV, so we're going to rearrange now. Forward, isn't it? Forward. Times 30 is 9,000. So therefore, if the original was going south,
picturing it, right?
And what was the force experienced by car A in this collision? The gradient have units of meters per second squared, so what's the gradient? What is units of meters per second squared? Yes. So the gradient tells you acceleration. So the gradient represents acceleration. And we know that force is equal to ma. So which bit of acceleration would cover the curve of the unit? What was the force experienced by car A in this collision? No. It's not right answer. What do you think the force would be? What is the mass of car A?
300.
Kilograms. Right. What's the acceleration? As the collision comes forward, the collision's happening for 2 seconds. What's that gradient of that graph? Yes. And what direction is it going? That's minus. Is it minus? Because I did round the wrong way. 10 minus 2. Oh, that should be 4 minus 2. That's right. So A was originally going south. It's the reverse now. So that'll be 4. That's right.
I'm trying. Is that?
Any more dynamics? Maybe dynamics is really good for getting a handle on vectors. I'm going to have a look at this one, but I'd like you to read this bit first.
I want to see if you have these examples. If she came around.
Like fresh air? colour version. Don't you say it? Maybe it's the colour version. I'll try and put it up.
Still recording. Miss,
Yeah.
the spells.
So I'm talking about road safety here. Why do we need to know about notices? You all had a learning to drive. Anyone learning to drive yet? Yes. Good on you. So, can I ask you to? So, that's why they always talk about car safety and pictures, because it's all physics. You cannot change the laws of physics. If you see people speeding on a freeway or anywhere, they haven't been paying attention in school, in the text. We're just reinforcing it because it is physics in year 11. So, if you see a mad person driving and ignoring the laws of physics, then you just let them go in front. Okay? Don't let them tailgate you. Just let them go because there it is. So, the connection between momentum and impulse. So we're going to learn about impulsive flow. Does anyone know what impulse is? Not being impulsive, but physics. So in car accidents, it's you experience a force when you have a collision. So force, yes, it will hurt, but it's how fast you get struck by the force that matters, really matters. So impulse is force divided by time. And you want to have the force applied over as long a period as possible. So that reduces impulse and that reduces the damage to your body. Because you can have you ever seen people and they lie down on a bed of nails and they go, oh, that's so spiky, and then they put a weight on top of them. It's happened on purpose, but it's applied very slowly and it's spread over their whole body. So force is pressure divided by area, and impulse is force divided by time. So slowly applied force will cause less damage than rapid force. Sorry?
What do you mean by that? Like lying in bed and
Oh, you never seen that? They do it for a stunt, for shows. Hey, look at me. Wouldn't that be all spiky? But no, it's physics. And then this guy down here, he's a physics teacher. Mr. Mac. That should work for me. Okay. Never mind. But can you see in that picture? He's actually got weight on top of him. So here. But go quite slowly so it doesn't hurt. I mean, it feels uncomfortable and you put enough force on it, it'll crush his lungs, but that force is not going to hurt him. So that's what they mean by bed of nails. I am not going to demonstrate for you. Don't really think it's but maybe not just yeah. So the connection between momentum and impulse has led to developments that reduce the risk for drivers and passengers in vehicles. So because you understand the laws of physics, we can make modifications to make it safer. So as a cyclist, I wear a helmet. So when I fall off my bike, which will happen, highly likely, it has done. I've been knocked over by 2 cars. One was a hit and run and one wasn't. But I was wearing a helmet. And I didn't actually hit my head, which is really good. And now I got bumped between the legs. But
Are you okay,
if I hit
miss?
my head, because I had a helmet on, it would have slowed, reduced the impulse because it's full of polystyrene. And it would absorb a lot of the energy for start, it's an inelastic collision. But it also, that impact on your head would have been slowed enough to prevent you from being dead. If you like. Also, it saves, that here, if you get at the back of your head, that's where your visual cortex is. So people will get fuzzy vision if they get hit at the back of their head. Their eyes aren't damaged. But there was a woman that was blinded in an accident last week in one eye. She got bumped on the back of her head. My neighbour's partner had a visual disturbance for 6 months from hitting the back of her head. Yeah, so you've got to look after this bit. It's going all funny, but we want to have a look at pictures. So cyclists wear helmets, and it says here road designers incorporate flyovers or overpasses to avoid intersections on many busy roads, so you can't be sideswiped. And other things, blood alcohol limits, school zone. The chances of you being killed if a car hits you at 60 kilometres an hour is very high. But if you're travelling, the vehicle's travelling at 50 kilometres an hour, you've got a 50-50 chance of surviving. So they've made speed limits in school zone 40 kilometres an hour, so you have a very good chance of surviving. You might be named crippled, but at least you'll be alive. That's why they have 40k zones. In front of schools, because many children are unpredictable at any age, including high school students. Why do you think high school students might get hit crossing roads? Have you observed what happens at front of our school every day?
Yes.
When the kids just step out on the crossing, they don't look, they just assume cars will stop, and they're looking at their phones. They're not looking where they're going. And their bodies butt in, so they can't hear as well either. So adults know this, and that's why you have those training. It's disturbing now when you see adults doing it. In Pitt Street, in the city, there are red lights embedded in the ground. People don't look up to see that it's a green. They're looking like this, so they see in the background red and green lights. Donkeys. Alright, so blah blah blah. So it's all about reducing the forces involved in collisions in order to reduce the extent of injury of people involved in fatalities. Did you watch that video about what happens to your body when you get hit by a collision? So if your head gets hit here, your brain inside it is in a fluid, cerebral fluid. So it travels because it's got, what is that? What, Newton's first law, where a body is at rest, remains at rest unless acted by an outside force. Do you remember what that?
Inertia.
Inertia, yeah. So because of inertia, your brain isn't moving at the same speed as your skull. So it hits the back, and then it hits the front. So you're getting an injury at the back and the front. You think you'll get it at the front.
That's so scary.
Yes. So we want to be safe. So So the question is, the photographs on this page show several different strategies used to minimise injury and fatality to various road users. So what is the strategy? And in terms of principles of physics involved, explain how they succeed in increasing road user safety. So here we have a roundabout. What do you think? What's the strategy there when you're reaching an intersection? Instead of a crossing like this, you slow down so that means you're decelerating, so reducing the force of this collision. You're all going in the same direction. When you're crossing over, you're travelling at 90 degrees. So it's all about reducing the force if there was a collision. What about being traffic light cameras? What behaviour does that encourage? That might help.
It prevents people from speeding.
Yes, stops people speeding and cutting through red lights where you have a cross intersection. So you don't run into someone going in a completely different direction. That's right. And so if you're slowing down or you have less force, don't you? What about that one over the sea? What is that? Barrier? What's sea? A highway. Yeah? Well, there's more than one highway, so there's lots of different roads. What's happening there? We've just read about it. They're putting it in St. Peter's. They're pretending that underground is the new Parkland. Okay. So that's a flyover. Have you heard of the term flyover? So you've got different cars travelling at different vertical heights. So there's no way they're going to have to slow down and stop and cross over and park another car. So you're avoiding for this. What about this one? Pedestrian crossing. Why does that help in collisions, preventing collisions or reducing the impact of collisions?
Because drivers know that's where they have to stop.
They have to stop. It's always pedestrians have right of way, but drivers don't behave that way. They should be going too fast anyway. But then they know they have to stop. Or at least go very slowly when they bump into a pedestrian. There. Here's a cyclist on a cycle path. Why is that a good idea for the cyclist? And the pedestrians? They're not on the footpath, they're not on the road. Yes, so cars don't drive into them, so they're not going to get hit by a car, and they're also not going to accidentally bump into when they want to go really fast. And the pedestrian unpredictably turns around and goes, oh. We also use a belt. But these type of cars, it's good here, but we've got one near where we live. It's like that, and cars, they're watching their phones and they drift into the cycling lane, so it's actually quite dangerous. Everybody hates cyclists, the pedestrians and the drivers, but I think the pedestrians are really drivers, because if they were cyclists, they'd be on their bike, they would be walking. School zones, we talked about that, okay. Slow it down so you're reducing the impact, the force of a collision over time. And gee, what's going on here? Yes, yes, well, yes, it makes, have you seen cars cut corners?
Yeah.
What I mean by cut corner, they go on the wrong side of the road, especially when they're turning right. Yeah, so that stops them from cutting corners. They have to stay on the correct side of the road. Otherwise you get collisions this way. And that's the worst type of collision penalty. Although we have safety features for that, so now people who get hit side on are the worst affected. Unless you have side impact. Alright, good. So now, the photographs below show two different types of seat belts, a lap sash belt and a harness belt. In terms of the principles of physics involved, explain how seat belts reduce injury to passengers during a crash. Here's the seat belt on, you're in an accident. How does that help?
stops your body from rolling completely forward.
Yes,
Mm.
through the windscreen
Yeah.
and out the other side. So because of inertia, your body will keep moving. That's the principle of physics. Unless you're actually physically attached to the car. So when the car stops, you stop. You might end up with a cracked sternum, broken collarbone, where the pressure points are, but you're alive. And your head hasn't gone through the windscreen. What about this type of seatbelt? Do you think that's a better one than the, or worse one than the other one? Which one do you think would be safer? The harness one, yes, because you've got more points of attachment, so that it would reduce the pressure, the force, which is pressure over area, increases the surface area, so there's less force per area, less pressure on your joints, so you end up with less injury. So they use those in motor in racing cars, where they're probably experiencing a higher impulse. And then what about this one? What's going on here? What is that?
The airbags.
Airbags. Yes, they've got front airbags for the drivers, and at the side they've got apron shaped airbags. So they help with the side on collision, so you don't end up doing this. My neighbour got hit from the side, and she was quite out of it for nearly a year, quite dazed and confused. She was teaching over at Bankstown, so that was interesting. Good. So, what's the principle of physics there? If you have an airbag, how does it work? Is that the air conditioner guy? Does he need to come in? He's still on air conditioner. Hello. Back up there. We're not going to breathe anymore. And what's the principle of physics involved in airbags? We talked about this momentum and there's impulse and Newton's laws. Pardon? It does. So does that mean the impact happen quickly or slower? Slower. So it's reducing the impulse. It's really important. And what's going on here? What's that? Is that a real person?
No.
No. It's a dummy, a crash test dummy. Now, what safety features are in that?
Okay.
Look, the whole front is collapsed. Why does the whole front of the car collapse? What's going on in a crash? So the car is actually designed to crumple, except for the cell that you sit in. So you're in a really rigid frame, but the rest of the car is designed to absorb the energy from the impact so you don't have to. So that's a crumple zone. So it's so easy to dent your car, but that's why it's so that you don't experience a sudden. You're not part of the energy transformation. Yeah. So now let's have a look at this question here. Question 26. What's happening there in that picture? What's this diagram showing us?
An
How
airbag.
would you solve that problem? You have a little thing. Try and solve that.
What's the time?
So from the data sheet, we've got a couple of equations you might like to look at.
Michelle? Hi. No? Have you on TikTok a lot? No? Have you ever heard of it? Gas station. It's okay, so basically, it using physics, it's explained. I mean, it's like part of physics. No. It's just it's part of physics. Like everything explained using physics. That whatever you want, you best because the really? Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you more.
So, for example, you manifest something by believing in it, and like thinking deeply about it, like positives and thinking something you can get it. It's supposed to you're gonna get it because the law of attraction and the energy you give off is powerful. I don't know, but then no, but seriously, really, I'm very passionate about it. Yeah, it makes sense because if you really want something, you'll do anything to get it. Yeah, and like, no, you just have to believe and you work hard and you get it.
What's
Yeah, so
the
it's because
velocity?
like this because it's physics and also it's like are you interested? It sounds cool,
What,
right?
do you remember your equation? 60.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
T? Yes, T is equal to
Of
1 second.
course. Of course you can.
So I. And this is. So initial final velocity. We have to convert this don't need to units, meters per second.
Divide by 3.6.
I'm so tired of this. Math, sorry.
What's that? 55 divided by 3 points. Is it not divided by 3.6? Divided by 3.6. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. So now that means I. And X is equal to.
6,101.6.
Oh, I did it round nowhere near. It's 0.
Um,
Yeah, it is.
So it's minus 6.
111.6. 3 ones point 6.
Is that okay? Yep. What about B?
what do you
Who'd like to show B? What's the next B? How does an airbag reduce the injury of the driver? Now, this is an explain question, and it's asking for precise terminology. Sorry, can I get you two moving down the front, please? You don't think sit up there. You can sit up there. Okay. Right.
That's so good.
Promise to stay away. Come closer.
I don't know.
Let's have a look at the model answer. So explain means cause and effect. So, and we need to have specific terminology, so that's the principles of physics. And you need to have time heading. So let's have a look. Go to the answer on page 6. It has suggestions. So can you circle all the precise terminology? So not it, all the nouns, I guess. In the answer on page 6, it's B, 2 marks. Put some physics words there. Can you circle it? Page
It's 6. Is there the answer on you?
So we have to explain using precise terminology and reference
I know,
to
I
how
know.
an airbag reduces the injury of the driver. Some not everyday words that you put in, but some physics words. Can you see them? Like collision,
It's a
stopping distance. What's that? You know what stopping distance is? No? What's the meaning of stopping distance? So that's physics. Well, they use that in the collisions to talk about it. Its acceleration is decreased. There's some physics words. Then you've got an equation. If you see an explain question in exam, can you please use an equation? Because you can't explain it if you don't explain it using maths. So you need to write a relevant equation. Every physics exam expects you to have physics equations in your explanation. Remember that? So we're going to use F equals ma. If acceleration is reduced, or there's acceleration, there's another physics word. The force on the driver is reduced. So you're looking at the equation going, if you reduce acceleration, then force will be reduced. That's a mathematical link. And then less force acting on the driver means less chance of injury. So what's the effect? Where are we in that paragraph? Where have they written the effect? What's the consequence? Which sentence do you reckon is the effect? The last one is the effect. That's right. So in an explanation of science, you need cause and effect. So you need to have and something to link the two. So the first, it's sort of identifying what you're talking about, and then it brings in the mathematical equation in the second sentence and what that means in terms of forces, and then finally you have the effect. Are there any linking words there? Connecting.
Then
Like if would be a connective, if and then. Can you see that? Where is if and then written? Which sentence? The second, yeah. If this happens, then that will happen. Any other connectives in the third sentence? Linking phrases. In the other one, let's force acting on the driver means. That means is sort of connecting the first idea in the sentence to the second idea. So you need to have that sort of terminology. And if you're not sure, just write in and so. And so. This happens. This happens. And so make sure you put physics words in. That happens. And as a result, let's put the observation. So these are the connectives. So that's in any of your science subjects, chemistry, physics, and bio, and investigative science, really strong on that explanation is pretty much. The only harder thing you have to do is make a judgment. Where you say what you think is the answer and then you justify it with evidence, which means writing an explanation. And referring to that. In physics, you refer to the relevant equation. There's lots of explained questions in physics exams. But there's also lots of calculations. Alright, and finally, is mechanical energy conserved during this collision? Justify your answer. There you go. You have to write an explanation with an opinion. Is mechanical energy, that's kinetic and potential combined, is it conserved in a collision? Is it an elastic or an inelastic collision? Did the car bounce off the tree? No. So inelastic? Is energy conserved in an inelastic collision? No, because it's lost to heat like down and also it's been transferred to the chlorine vehicle that's in the car. They have picked up the kinetic energy. Right. Yeah, just look at that answer. I know this is dull, but it really gives you extra marks, lots of extra marks in advance. So the suggested answer to that one is no. Mechanical energy is not conserved in carbon. There's your opinion. Stick it at the front of your response. Your opinion goes at the front so you don't forget. And the next bit is the justification. So what science word do you need to use there? In page 6. What principles of physics are they bringing in? Let's just put it in there. Momentum? Yes. So they're bringing in that phrase, that's a law. Momentum is always conserved, law of conservation of momentum. And but then they said mechanical energy, which is a key word from this question. So they're not repeating the question, but they're using keywords from the question. Mechanical energy from within car can be converted into other forms of energy. So no, it's not conserved, but that's the principle of physics we're looking at. You can convert energy transformation. Right, we're done with that. We also have, this is from a book called Surfing, and I've posted the answers and showed you. Would you like to have a go at this problem now? Just to revise. Have a go at that. Doing calculations. Remember we did ticker tape too? That's what all those dots are about. You are. I didn't travel. I didn't like the road.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know what topic we're doing.
Skin.